gonna love this.
I want to hear it. I'm objective. You're critical.
Anico at the disco.
He's positive. Join the Mixtape 615.
Today, tomorrow, yesterday,
It is the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville.
forever. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is a Mixtape 615 podcast, baby. And this right here, right now, is the place to be. Yo, if you're a Nashville Soccer Club fan or you're just trying to see what's going on with them boys in gold, then let me invite you real quick. Lock in with us. Come on. It's your boy, Tunji, a.k.a. And I got a new one at the back end of this, so just pay attention. Stick with me. A.k.a. Tunji. Actually, that's what I'm known as. Tunji, a.k.a. Young Turtle, the soccer face, SF Doom, the big kahuna munching on the little tuna sandwich, the DR kid, affectionately known as Steam Papi, Yamame, por favor. Yo, any given Wednesday, you know where you can find me at, Southside Kitchen and Pub, sipping on them half-off whiskeys like I just got a paycheck, and I'm waving it in the air like I don't give a care. Hey, a.k.a. Mississippi Mai Tais on this beach in Belize, feeling cool like a summer breeze. The dude walking down Broadway with the cleanest pair of Nikes that you ever did see. The golden boy with the golden voice. Chicago Mike, the Glizzy Gladiator. And now, a newly minted Jude Bellingham believer.
Oh, my gosh.
Jude. All right, man. This is a Mixtape 615 podcast. And we got a new guest. You might know him as El Presidente of the Mixtape 615. So we are in the presence of royalty. Breun, can you introduce yourself to the people?
Hey, man. It's Breun, OG, Mixtape 615.
OG.
Captain of the crew, head honcho, number 10. You know what I'm saying? Not Ginger Snap, but, quick to, I don't know how to do this. It's Breun, people. It's Breun. That's it. You know me. You catch me on lot 5, pulling up
there you
the
go.
U-Haul to set up and do my thing and to represent
Mr.
for the people that look like me that are melanated within the Nashville area, baby.
Yeah.
It's us.
There you go.
That was pretty good. That was for a first AKA. That was pretty good.
That's better than Shay's first AKA.
All right, Logan. Come on, let them know.
All right. Y'all know who it is. This is Logan, a.k.a. Beer Main, a.k.a. Summer Sam. And this is the Mixtape 615 podcast brought to you by the Mixtape 615 supporter group, the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville, and all of soccer, and all the world, multiverse. You know it. And if you want to jump in with us, you definitely need to. Mixtape615.com. Go there. Mixtape615.com. And you can jump in to the mix right there and help us run this pitch this year. Now, from the Greg Berhalter out chance starting to begin again, from Panama winning and moving on in, there's a lot of soccer news that we have to get to today. And we will be talking a little bit of Copa today, but we have a match that happened before all of that I just mentioned, and we need to break down a little bit of a match rewind today. And I'm going to be leading us out on that. It's going to be fun. So, Miami versus Nashville happened June 29th, 7:30 p.m. start. Brand new scarves coming out with the I survived the cicada summer, but
100-degree
we did not
weather.
survive.
Don't forget that. Yeah.
I don't know if I survived that 100-degree weather. That was tough to get through. It was a rough match all around because it was a 2-1 victory for Miami. Hany Mukhtar getting our solo goal. Initial reactions, Breun, what was your initial reaction, El Presidente?
Yeah, so, we were kind of taken back from the onset, quick goal conceded, and then came a second. I think that, well, most people came there, you probably didn't expect to necessarily win, but get a result. Messi Suarez is out, great opportunity maybe to nick a point, but just wasn't happening, right? Then we got the late PK, got the goal, Hany, about 70, I can't even remember a minute. And from there, we made a great sub. I mean, Ajago came in, refreshed kind of the front line, came in, attacking one corner after corner, and, I think Ajago did his thing, but all in all, I think we really struggled, especially in the midfield. really difficult to get service up top. When you do that, you're just not going to, have many opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net. I will say that, absorbing pressure is not the way to go and play teams like Miami.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the way to play anybody. So I think we really need to, think about, right now, we have an interim coach, right? So interim manager. So we want to make sure that, it's really to have fun at this point, right? We have nothing to lose during these games. We obviously know we're going to get a new manager. Who that is to be determined. But I would like for us to try something different and really go for it. And if we can see goals, we can see goals. But want us to kind of be a little bit more on the attack and a little bit more offensive mindset. So.
Well, as much as we want to be offensive mindset with an attacking team like Miami, I do feel like we do have to stand up a little harder in the defense. Tunji, was there anything positive in the defense on the 2 goals? Was that on Joe? Was that on the defense? What are your thoughts on that?
The second goal, the golazo from was it Jordi Alba?
Yeah, no,
that's not on Joe. I mean, Joe is how tall? What's Joe's wingspan? You know what I mean?
Dude, he reached,
and he stretched full out, and he still couldn't get it. I would say, yeah, it's a little bit on us because I keep seeing this every time where these goals happen. Not these golazos, but just like these
corner set pieces.
I don't even know how to explain. It's just top of the not in the penalty box, in the top of our attacking third or our defensive third, where for some reason we just lose track of a guy and he's right there in the middle of our defensive third and he just blasted in. It's happened a couple times this year, and it happened. The first one was Ian Frey getting the header.
Yeah.
And then the second one was Jordi Alba just kind of being left to his own device, where that just, for some reason, I keep seeing it happen over and over again. It's happened a couple times this year. Say it again. And those are the backbreakers. Those are absolute backbreakers because, we can throw our hands up and say, well, what are you going to do about it? Well, you can make sure that open guy isn't open, because Jordi Alba was completely open. He had an awesome first touch and then he blasted it. But guess what? When you don't forget that this is a world-class player and you just stick someone to him the whole game, well, he doesn't get that open chance like that to make those world-class plays. He looked like he was at practice, honestly. Talking about practice. Practice.
I do believe that was a little bit on our midfield as well, not making sure to cover people on the outside or out there. On that Frey goal, man, I truly think it was he was a man unmarked. Jack was in front of him trying to mark up front. Bauer, I think, was the one behind him, or maybe it was the opposite. And you just can't leave him open on that. That basically in the middle, right in front of Joe, and just give him an opening.
Can't leave anybody open like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
And he came through.
We used to be the people destroying people on set pieces, and now Miami is doing that to us.
And it's not just Miami. There have been a few this year, not a lot, but a few, enough that it causes concern in the defensive side. And again, I know, just like Breun, you said, we have an interim coach right now. We can kind of have fun with this, but we're a little over halfway into the season now. We can't lose matches just to lose matches. We may be having fun, but we need to get things done. And that's where it really comes down to. And that does come down to our offensive side. And our offensive side, they may have performed well in total. They did not complete. And we've talked about it over and over. But there's one true shining option out there that came in a little bit and was able to come into this match head on and cause some issues in the Miami defense, cause some scares, and looked really good. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Forrester Ajago coming up after this break.
Hey, Mixtape 615, are you ready for the 2024 season? We want you to join us. Join our supporters group. It is the dopest supporters group in all of Nashville. So sign up right now at mixtape615.com and rock your 2024 membership scarf so you can show off and say, we run this pitch. Imagine standing on the field, feeling the energy of the game close up, all of the energy of the stadium. That's a reality for our members. You can get on-field opportunities, plus get access to our tailgates where you'll bond with fellow fans over great food, soccer passion, and don't miss out on our epic away game watch parties. So sign up now, mixtape615.com, and join for the 2024 season.
All right. We are back. One of the key highlights for the last match for Inter Miami versus Nashville SC was Forrester Ajago, who gave us great minutes coming off the bench, replacing Teal Bunbury. Any thoughts about his performance and his contribution to last Saturday's match, Logan?
I mean, yeah, I think it's nice to see him get more minutes now. I think it's very nice to see him performing at the level that we knew he could. I mean, this kid came in as an undrafted rookie, signed, I think, same day as the super draft when it happened. And I thought it was crazy because, like, when we picked him up, I was like, man, did we just get a steal? And I feel like we kind of did. I know, you know, they had, you know, Jose Kojima. I know I had talked about him. He went to St. Louis. I wanted him. But a guy who came from that same conference in the ACC, you know, with Kojima from Wake Forest and, you know, Ajago coming from Duke, coming from the ACC conference, coming in and playing as a all-star. I think he was player of the year for ACC this last year. Phenomenal player coming in. I was excited to see his minutes get rolling, and we got to see it 2 weeks ago. We got to see it last week, and then now again this past weekend, we got to see even more minutes happen. And when he gets on the pitch, man, he's just running. He's running and gunning, and it's just phenomenal watching him play. I think he truly lights up our offensive side. I think that's that energetic forward that we've all been talking about wanting.
Yeah, I mean, definitely great to see him get 23 minutes as opposed to 1 minute in the NYC game, and we were winning that game, so I'm not mad at that, right? But like, you kind of see what happens when you give him more minutes, right? Two scoring attempts, one on target, a 71% passing completion rate, but that's not bad considering what he was up against. You know, Miami is no slouch. Yes, they get scored on a lot. Yes, their defense isn't as good as their offense, but they still have some names back there, right? So Absolutely. It's great. It is absolutely great that Marumba is taking this chance on him. One of the biggest things that I took away from this, which actually blew my mind a little bit, Hany Mukhtar had a 0.1% expected goal. Anyone care to guess what the expected goal was for Sergio? I'll give you a hint. It was more.
2.3?
0.5. Not a whole lot more, but still, this is Hany Mukhtar is the guy. He's going to be in the All-Star game, right? Now, granted, he's been playing all season, but like, I'm starting to, I'm just going to say it. I'm starting to believe that he's fading away in the big moments where we really need him. Games like Miami. Okay. Games like NYC. I don't know, man. Like, it's one of these situations where I'm like, look, man, I know that it's tough being the guy where everyone expects you to beat, like, he's been that guy. He's carried that burden for a long time. But now you've got Sam coming on. Hopefully we can get Forster some more minutes. I need Hany to. The fact that Forster Jago came on and had a better expected goal number than him, I don't know. It didn't feel good, especially in a game like Miami.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at a team. I know, Tunji, we kind of talked about it a little bit on the break, but you look at a team like this where both of these teams kind of came into the league right around the same time, and you've got money team versus money ball, right?
Yep.
So you've got a team that's spending all the money versus someone who's trying to play smart with the money. And look at the difference in our strikers. I mean, you've got a Forrester Jago who was an unsigned rookie versus the number one, arguably the number one soccer player of all time. And I know he wasn't on the pitch this last time. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, right? Like, I love seeing Forster come on and bring that energy, and we need it. And I hope that if we give him more minutes, if we make him a starter, which arguably is kind of the talk, right? That's sort of like the whispers and the murmurings in the community right now. Make Forster the starter. If we do that, don't give that up. Matter of fact, if you do come in and do well, Forster, keep that going, because he has an opportunity here to run with this team and shake things up. I don't know what the future holds for Nashville the rest of the season. But if Forster can be a big part of that, then I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely for 2 men up top. Let's get Sam on one side. Let's get Forster on the other side. Let's change it up a bit. One thing that I think that we miss is Teal is most effective with coming off the bench. I think at one point earlier in the season, when you looked at his goal per minute, it was insane. It was really insane, and people were shocked about it, even though, he hasn't been a fan favorite. But he's been very effective coming off the bench. Forrester, I mean, he looks so strong. He's so tall. He almost glides across the pitch. And one thing he does, he challenges for the ball. And like I said, how many corners did he win us? It seems like he won us like 3 corners in a row immediately.
I think he did. I think it was 3. It was solid.
And that was the most promising, kind of stretch of the final third of the match. Like him being youthful, being able to run, being able to do a lot more than just hold up play is going to play dividends, I feel, in the near future. We just need to go through this experimental phase and integrate him more into the team. We talked about passing percentage. Well, that's only going to improve with minutes on the bench, right?
Yeah.
One thing that I do also want to highlight is that shout out to Hany. I know his GA may not have been what we expected to be, but just as a reminder, in 4 years, in 4 years, he's one of 6 players in MLS history to have the number of goals and assists that he has, right? And guess what? Just like with the Titans with Derrick Henry, he's the focus of everybody, defensively, no matter who we play. So that has to factor into the conversation. So of
course. And I love giving our best players on all of our teams, like Nashville, Titans, my other team, Lakers. I love giving the best player a hard time, but it's like you've got to do that with a guy like Hany Mukhtar. Like, I'm sorry, I have to poke at him a little bit, because I'm like, dude, man, like you're our guy. When you're not playing well, the rest of the team ain't playing well. When like, even if you are getting locked down, you know what I mean? Rise above it, dude. Like, this is sports. Like, this is what we pay you to do, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so when I see him taking these like dives, these weak dives, when I see him disappearing in to me, the Miami game is a big match. Anytime you play Miami, Leagues Cup champ, probably going to challenge for the not only the Supporters Shield, but the MLS Cup this year. Like, I need guys like Hany to step up and show a guy like Forster Jago how to do this thing, right? Because Hany's not going to be here forever. So I know that some players have an aversion, and it's not, obviously it's not their obligation. The best player on the team, it's not his obligation to raise that next generation. But man, when you do something like that, when you step up and you help the next set of guys that get the feel for the game and really show the crowd how to put on a show, well, to me, that makes you even more of a GOAT in my mind. Hany is the GOAT. Don't get me wrong, guys. I know I said some wild stuff, but I'm just pointing out. I was just looking at some numbers, bro. I'm looking at numbers.
I mean,
men lie, women lie.
Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie.
Unless you cook the books, baby.
No, I agree. I think something that happened this last match, and it has been happening a little bit more this year, and it is frustrating to see, is in these big games, you don't see Hany being the active person as much. He's had his moments for sure, but you don't see him being the active person. I mean, the person who won us the goal, the penalty kick, as it was Tyler Boyd coming in. The person who won us the majority of our corners was Forrester Ajago. The people who were acting out in the front were guys like Teal and Sam. Hany, he had a solid shot from outside the box. I mean, he really did put one on, and it's pretty impressive. But I mean, when you've got other guys out there that are affecting the ball, it looks like more so. We need to be able to see a higher pass rate. We need to be able to see a better direction. And with him being one of our captains, one of the guys that we look to when it comes to leadership, it's really got to be the one that we go on.
Y'all, we're going to wrap this one up. Logan, take us out, baby.
All right, guys, that's a wrap for another episode of the Mixtape 615. Big love to all you listeners out there. We couldn't do it without you. And a special shout out to, the one, the only Doug Branson, the real MVP who's making all this happen. And also a big shout out to our special guest this time around. Look at him. He's now becoming the SFX Doom.
I updated my Mac. Mac. I got the new update.
But special shout out. Thank you, Breun, for coming on. Thank you for leading out the Mixtape 615. And don't forget to stay connected with us, guys. Hit us up at mixtape615.com and on all of our socials on Instagram, Facebook, X, all that good stuff at Mixtape615. If you want to see all of our video content, guys, you can find us on YouTube. Go to at Mixtape615 POD. That is pod, shortened for podcast.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah, now you
Nice.
know. So
There you go, Steve Jobs.
as we go, guys, keep it real, keep it vibing, and until the next episode, this is Mixtape 615 signing off.